Hello and good evening and welcome to Country Time with Quinn, where we'll be coming to a live web TV near you with over 2.6 million views in over 220 countries. This show is live on the internet and not just on a Friday evening anymore, but we've changed our time and date from 8:30 back to 7:30 on a Wednesday evening. And this is just a trial run to see how it goes, but I am hoping that it will work out for the better, particularly for the bands coming into the studio. And going on that, my guest tonight is Jermyn, and we're going to get Brendan to sing a song for us before we start our interview.
Her eyes were blue, her hair was auburn, her smile was like an angel fair. She was her daddy's only daughter on the Tennessee border. One night I took a ride just across that line. Well, I picked her up in my pickup truck and she broke this heart of mine. Her mama said no, she's my only daughter, but we got married on the Tennessee border. The roses were blooming there on the border. Her moon was shining there. Her personality made me want her on the Tennessee border. One night I took a ride just across that line. Well, I picked her up in my pickup truck and she broke this heart of mine. Her mama said no, she's my only daughter, but we got married on the Tennessee border. A ride just across that line. Well, I picked her up in my pickup truck and she broke this heart of mine. Her mama said no, she's my only daughter, but we got married on the Tennessee border. Her mama said no, she's my only daughter, but we got married on the Tennessee border.
Well, Brendan. There you are, folks. That was Brendan. Brendan's going to come and join me here for a wee chat. But while we're waiting on Brendan, I did mention earlier on there, I've moved my show from a Friday evening back to Wednesday. And we're doing this because some of the band people are coming in. It doesn't suit them on a Friday evening. They're away gigging everywhere else around the country. So we're going to try it for a while and see how the Wednesday evening goes. But it's great. It's a lovely evening here in Cavan. The sun is shining. It's very warm. And Brendan, welcome to the studio.
Thanks, thank you for having me.
I always did say we take people back from time to time, and we do have people back, and it's great having you back here again.
Thank you. It's great to be back.
A lot of things have been happening since the last time you were here in the studio.
Sure. Bits going on, you know. Trying to get a bit done. I've recorded a new song there myself, and David Smith and Martin Cosgrove wrote it and composed it up with Paul Gorney over in Longford, and I might play that for you later on if I get a chance.
Of course you will, because that's our aim here, is to give people like yourself the opportunity to, perform and put your music out there to the wider public as well and get what people think of it. And also, you're going to record it, put it onto a single?
Hopefully, I intend to do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And it'll be available then, whether it be on iTunes or whether it be on the web or whether it's whatever shops it'll be for sale. But at least we'll give an air in here tonight anyway for you. Would you have any plans to make a DVD of it or anything like that?
Well, I was thinking about making a DVD of it and putting it out to Hot Country on Channel 191.
Right.
And see how that goes from there.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked into it yet as such, but I plan on doing that.
Oh yeah, and even have a chat with some of our own background people here as well.
Oh, absolutely,
and they'd certainly put it
Steer me in the
worldwide,
right
right
direction.
out throughout the way for you as well too. We put it in all the media as well, whatever it is. But anyway, whatever it is and wherever it comes from, we'll certainly help to promote whatever you're doing, and that's what we do for all artists, and we love doing things like that.
That'd be great.
I know it's something that I think that young artists like yourselves loves to get is publicity, because all the big artists out there, they're just basking in plenty of promotion out there, whether on the national wavelengths, and ourselves here at our local stations throughout the country here. We have their Irish Web TV here ourselves, and we aim to at least, give people like yourselves a chance to promote the music out there worldwide for people to view. You're playing in various venues around the town here as well in Cavan?
I am. I do play in Farnham quite a bit there, and I play all over Cavan. I play anywhere I get a gig, Seamus, you know the way it is. Just when you were on about promotions there was a crowd on to me there last week. They were actually involved in that Can You Country thing that was in the Kilmore. I took part in that. And there were LCM promotions, and they want to promote me and promote the song and get it out there. So
excellent.
That might be another avenue I'll go down.
And certainly if you explore all those areas, because it's if once you've got a background, someone like that there that's behind you all the way, I'd certainly grab it with both hands. And it is what I've heard of the song. It's a fabulous song, and yes, folks, you will hear it later on, and when you hear it, you know what we're saying. It is a beautiful song and well done and well written. A combination of the few years that wrote it.
Yeah, and my brother Paul also done all the guitar on it. We done it over from Paul Gurley's in Longford.
Right.
Paul was great to work with, yeah.
And Paul has a good setup there as well.
Oh,
too,
fantastic
and it's a good
studio.
Yeah, he has,
studio, yeah.
And it takes time to work with you throughout all the instruments as well too. Isn't it?
Well, funny enough, that day we were in and out, Seamus, in about 3 hours. Start to finish.
Gee, that was
he
fast.
was good. Like, we enjoyed it. He actually enjoyed it himself because we got it done so quickly, and it went so well. And
the backing music you have, would you perform from it yourselves, or would there been some other people, session musicians came in for that?
Well, the only session musician that was on it, as I said, was my brother Paul.
Right.
He played the whole lead on it, and most of the rhythm as well.
Right.
And Paul Gorney put down the drum track and the bass track on it.
Right, very good, very good. And that's it, you done just. How long did it take you to write the song now?
Well, the song was more or less written, to be honest with you, by Martin Cosgrove Cosgrove. We just had to tweak the lyrics a bit in it. Right. And add a few bits into it. And Duxie came up with a good melody for it.
So it's just a combination of and it takes that, from a number of people to put their own little stamp on it there, and a decent chord. You just performed together, the three?
Myself and Paul and Duxie performed over in Killashandra. Now, it was just a coming together. Myself and Duxie were playing at the time, and Paul was home from England at the time, and he came over and jammed with us. Yeah. Paul's actually out in Praia da Rocha in Portugal at the minute doing a stint.
Oh, so, very good, very good. And it would be something that you think you do in your set. No, going out there, no.
No way. I done a week last year in Tenerife, and I'd never do it again.
Yeah. You like the home scene, and it's good, and there's good reactions from the crowds and the people within the venues as well too.
Yeah, very good. The Farnham's a great venue there on a Saturday night. I'd probably play in there maybe twice a month.
Right, very good.
I'm starting to get a steady crowd of regulars in.
It takes that, because until people get to know the band and the group, it starts off slow and then it builds up, and it's the same with the big bands as well. They're all looking to get their name out there. Once they get their name out there and people get to know it, then you have a follower of people that's just coming all the way to see you. It doesn't matter, people will just travel.
Oh yeah. Well, it's like this, Seamus, you can be playing in a pub sometimes, and anyone that plays music will tell you could be playing in a pub that's jammed and there might be nobody watching you, and sometimes you feel, am I doing something wrong? It's just, but the Farnham's one of them venues where you actually get a crowd that is listening to you.
Yeah. A very, I suppose, comfortable, nice, close-knit thing there. Yeah. Everybody's just listening. Yeah. They'll have their drink all right, but they're really listening to the music and enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
And any other venues around town as well you do?
I do play the Sleeve Rossa quite a bit.
Right.
Yeah, it's always a great place to play. All the local characters are in there, and you'll always have a bit of crack and a laugh on the night in there.
Oh, would you have a northern wanting to come up and sing a song as well, too? Yeah.
there's no problem in letting somebody up. If you know they can sing,
That's
they're
right,
more than
yeah.
welcome to come up.
Oh, yeah. And it's nice that too, it gives you a break as well,
it does.
too,
Yeah.
the chance to stand back and catch your breath. That's what it's all about. Imperial there in Cavan, you do not bit that maybe, not Tim?
Not Friday night with Duxie
Yes.
and Martin Duffy.
Right.
The Swamp Ducks.
All right,
Yeah.
Swamp Ducks. A nice name, the Swamp Ducks is
Oh,
right.
no.
And the name then of yourselves then, who you're going there, or have you any particular name you're going there?
Myself and Duxie go under the Crooks.
The Crooks.
Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. We're actually thinking of changing that because it's not a great thing if you see it outside the door of a pub.
No.
The Crooks.
But then you have to come up with something original and
this is
that's
it.
catchy as well too. And you're working on that at the moment.
Well, I do go under, when I'm playing on my own, I do go under the name Mossy just at the minute.
Mossy. So people just see Mossy out
That's
there
it.
in the local media, not there to know that's you, and that will indicate its own thing. We're heading
Absolutely.
down to see Mossy tonight.
Yeah. And I find that you meet people in the street or in the shop somewhere and they're, how are you doing, Mossy?
right, and that's it
sticks.
It sticks, is
Yeah.
right. It sticks as well. And you're just doing this on a part-time basis type thing.
I am indeed, yeah.
Would you be hoping down the road maybe to move into a full-time?
I'd love to get out on the road and try it, even maybe if it didn't work, so be it, at least I tried, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd love to, it's something that I would really, really like to do. Yeah.
It'd be an ideal just to give it a shot. If it worked, it worked, and,
Yeah,
and if
exactly.
it didn't, at least you can always look back and say, yes.
Yes.
I give it a try.
Absolutely.
And there's an awful amount of people out there on the road at the moment. Like, you know, and there is a lot of competition out there.
Oh, yes.
And it's just getting that break, and even getting a song that once it gets out there, people will actually then identify you with that song, and that's it. And you're away after that.
Absolutely.
That's
It's just, I find it's hard enough to get airplay now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of the stations there is just trying to break into that.
Yeah. It's tough now, but I think over the next couple of weeks I'm going to get a bit of airplay with that song.
Very good.
So please God, you'll hear it on Shannon's Side and
Well,
maybe a few other stations.
That would be great, and,
Yeah.
and look, we certainly, as I said earlier on there tonight, that, you know, we love giving you artists like yourself there that opportunity to airplay your stuff there, and particularly new stuff like that. It's great because people out there, it's a lot of hard work getting down to write a song, putting together, you said, the lyrics, going to the studio and doing things like that, and you'd like to give it a chance, and you'd be hoping that all the stations would give it that opportunity as well too. And you even try some of the other stations down in the country as well too,
yeah.
and they'd kind of do something for you as well. You're going to do another 2 songs for us, I'd say, now shortly.
Songs, yeah.
And what we'll do, we might just take a commercial break, and what we do is go up and have give our viewers there another run of some of your repertoire music there. We'd love that. But in the meantime, there, go ahead there. The stage is all yours. And while we're waiting on Brendan there to don on his guitar and get ready, we'll just let you know that in the Kilmore Hotel on Saturday night, we have the fabulous Robert Mansell, just back from his tour there in Europe. I think he was out in Spain. Fabulous tour, done exceptionally well. I hope to see him on Saturday night and see what kind of a tan he has got and have a chat with him anyway. Great singer, great artist, and there will be a fabulous crowd there at that band. But for now, we're going to hear Brendan sing some more songs for you.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan Town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our 1 wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic? You can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel, gateway to Ireland's Lakelands.
I never had a pair of shoes that weren't all hand-me-downs, and Daddy's morning coffee made from old leftover grounds. My mama wore no jewelry or any store-bought stuff, and home was on a hillside 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. 40 miles back in Missouri, there's a different way of life, where a man thinks of his neighbor and not his neighbor's wife. Life was far from fancy and sometimes mighty rough, but contentment made it worth it 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. Our only family treasure was a beat-up radio, and it took us to the places that we knew we'd never go. We never had much money, but we always had enough, and money never mattered 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. 40 miles back in Missouri, there's a different way of life, where a man thinks of his neighbor and not his neighbor's wife. Life was far from fancy and sometimes mighty rough, but contentment made it worth it 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. Nearly every winter when the snow was on the ground and the roads they were closed and we couldn't get to town. But if Daddy had his tobacco and Grandma had her snuff, then winter didn't seem so long 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. 40 miles back in Missouri, there's a different way of life, where a man thinks of his neighbor and not his neighbor's wife. Life was far from fancy and sometimes mighty rough, but contentment made it worth it 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. 40 miles back in Missouri, there's a different way of life, where a man thinks of his neighbor and not his neighbor's wife. Life is far from fancy and sometimes mighty rough, but contentment made it worth it 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. 40 miles from Poplar Bluff. Oh, the sun's gonna shine in my life once more. Love's gonna live here again. Things are gonna be the way they were before. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here again. No more loneliness, only happiness. Love's gonna live here again. I hear bells are ringing, I hear birds are singing. Love's gonna live here again. I hear bees are humming, and I know the day is coming. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here again. No more loneliness, only happiness. Love's gonna live here again. Alright. live it. Love's gonna live here again. No more loneliness, only happiness. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here. Love's gonna live here again. No more loneliness, only happiness. Love's gonna live here again. Love's gonna live here again.
Well done, Brendan, well done. There you are, some fantastic music. Come here and join me again. I keep bringing this man forward and back to the stage, and I just love listening to him singing as well. It's fabulous. Brendan, some great songs there, so they are. And you're doing fantastic work on them as well, too. All on your own there as well, you're singing away. You just love the country music.
I do, yeah. I really like it now. I only really got into it, Seamus, to be honest, in the last 3 years, I'd say.
Right.
I'd be more of a Pearl Jam man. I don't know if you ever heard of them to be a rock group, but I found to get a gig, you had to sway to the Irish country stuff.
Right, right.
And it's kind of taken over from there.
And I suppose we all listen to a bit of rock and pop and trad and all
yeah.
those things, and they all have their place in life. And we do have a wee bit of trad on. We had their Real Oak back there some time ago, and they went down exceptionally well. Fabulous music as well, and fabulous young people. I have to commend everybody that comes in and puts the effort into it. And there's a lot of time, learning the music and doing things like that. And the more than yourself as well, the time that you're putting into, you're writing with the song and doing all those things and getting out there and trying to get it published. And you were saying earlier on there, it's just getting stations to actually kind of, play that.
Well, this is it. Like your studio recorded stuff, it has to be up to scratch, because if it's nowhere up to scratch, not a hope of them playing it,
Well, I'm going to go back years ago, and I would have been talking to the late Phelim Cox, and he would have been doing the radio stations at the time, and Phelim telling me about the like of Daniel O'Donnell and people that coming in with the old cassette tapes there as well, and they were pushing them on to get them to play that as well too. So the things hasn't changed. You might be going in now with your CD, or it's on a stick now and that type of thing, or maybe email it into the station. It's the same principle. You're out there just pushing to get your music in all the time and talking to all the DJs around the country.
But I think it has to be a hard copy you send into them now, because if it won't play, they'll check it out to make sure that it doesn't skip or anything,
Right.
So it has to be a hard copy that you send into them. Now, chances are a lot of places you send it into mightn't even get open, but you just have to keep trying,
Well, you just keep trying,
keep
because
knocking on the door.
And then, if it doesn't happen this time, again, you give it another shot, and it's the only way. You keep just plugging away, and it will. It'll work. It'll eventually come, because going back, as I said again, all the other artists, they're all at the same thing. Nobody, doesn't matter from top to the bottom. Everybody's pushing to get their bit played out there as well, and all you need is just to get that break.
This is it.
And that's it, you have the whole thing. And that song even, and you'll be singing now at the end of the show here as well tonight there. It's great, the reaction you're getting from it around when you're in the different venues now, when people hear it, what are they saying?
Well, it's great, because it's a quick step, and if you can see people jiving to your quick step, it makes you very happy. And I'm a lot of people have said to me, geez, it is a very catchy song, and it is catchy, it's catchy. It's great. It's great when somebody comes and says that. It'd be different now if somebody came to you and said, I wouldn't be mad about that. No, I'm getting good positive feedback.
Yeah, you might get the odd person. It's not everybody's going to like everything. But on general terms, you're going to get the fair majority of people that's going to come to you and say, yes, this is.
I got playing it to two wide audiences. Now, the first one, it was a fundraiser for that little Jake kid up in Lavey.
Oh, yes.
A couple of weeks ago in the Lavey Inn. And I done an hour that night with Owen McConnon and Tony Brady, Pure Country.
Right.
So I played for an hour and the lads done it, but I finished up with that song and I got a great response to it.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, and that's you know, where you will get the real response from people like that. There's people there to hear and listen to the music as well. You were involved there with the Can You Country there with the Lara group within the past week or two as well.
Yeah, it was a great night. Now,
How'd that go?
Very good. It was very well produced, and you seen the stage yourself
yes,
out
fabulous.
there. It was very
absolutely fantastic.
Like for me, it's used to getting up and doing it maybe every weekend in a bar or something. When you go in and you see something like that and know that you're going to be stuck on the middle of it.
I just looked at it, and the curtains and the light in the back and everything was just
it was fantastic. Yeah. It was great. It was great to take part in it now, and it was great to get that song out there because you know that Brian Lawler guy.
Yes,
he actually played on the night too, but he gave me great remarks about it.
It's great to get that that feedback from someone of that experience as well.
Absolutely,
too.
And he's a fantastic singer himself.
Yeah.
And he's a real American country voice, if you know what I mean.
Right.
But he's very good.
And it was nice to be, as you say, involved in that. You met other people that was in there maybe for the first time, or maybe they're just new into the scene, and everybody's looking to take a break at the music scene.
I was good now, and like I know for a lot of people, like a lot of them young people that were there, probably never stood in front of a microphone before, but it was every bit as nerve-wracking for me, let me tell you, on the night.
I know, I can see that, and like, while you be used to out in the various pubs and clubs around, they're just loving the bit of music, but for here, when you're in front of maybe a camera or an audience there and a stage like that sitting around you, it's a whole different ball game.
Totally different. Totally different.
That's great. What we're going to do now is we're going to get back up and we're going to hear actually this new song, and we'll see what our audience out there, and even people do email us in or give us a text, Facebook us, let us know what you think of it, because we certainly think it's a fabulous song. And even anybody that's out there, and I've spoken to a number of people at that Can You Country, they said, yeah, we really like that. And Brendan, thank you for coming in here.
It's called Seamus. It's called Why Is a Girl Like You with a Man Like Me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave it to Brendan, and we're just going to close the show with this fabulous song of Brendan. But from Country Time with Quinn, and from my very special guest here tonight, Brendan Jermyn, we'll say good night and do have a lovely weekend.
Why's a girl like you with a man like me? He can never work, but you can't see. We just lead our lives so differently. Why's a girl like you with a man like me? I tried to tell you from the start that our worlds were much too far apart, but you won't accept and you can't see that this was never meant to be. So why's a girl like you with a man like me? He could never work, but you can't see. We just lead our lives so differently. Why's a girl like you with a man like me? I find this very hard to say, but we must go our separate ways. This love was never meant to be, and it's there for all the world to see. So why's a girl like you with a man like me? He can never work, but you can't see. We just lead our lives so differently. Why's a girl like you with a man like me? The first time I let you break my heart, my world just seemed to fall apart. But that won't happen again to me, 'cause I want of you and you won't have me. So why's a girl like you with a man like me? He can never work, but you can't see. We just lead our lives so differently. Why's a girl like you with a man like me? Why's a girl like you with a man like me? It can never work, but you can't see. We just lead our lives so differently. Why's a girl like you with a man like me? Why's a girl like you with a man like me? Why's a girl like you with a man like me?